OneWrestling.com presents Big Slam Nation.
This is Bill Apter. We'll see you at the matches.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to OneWrestling.com's Big Slam Nation. We haven't done this in a bit. I'm very excited. I got with me today, my name is Billy Ray Valentine, as if you didn't already know, but I got with me today, all the way from Bombay, New Jersey, the professor, the scholarly, the glorious, the magnanimous, Professor Anthony Quintana, all the way from Bombay, New Jersey. Say what's up to the people, man.
What's going on, Slamites? Happy 2017. And my New Year's resolution, Slamites, is I'm taking the gloves off, all right? I'm taking the gloves off. I'm speaking the truth, but you know it's fair and balanced.
Meaning that everything you've said up to this point was a lie.
No.
Right?
Meaning everything I ever said was good PR moves.
Okay, all
But
right.
right now, all truth.
Okay. And, of course, we got returning. Once again, we're graced with her presence. Mimi Shells, what's up, Mimi? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us here. I know you're on the roll call, you know, for the Big Slam Nation intro. I know you've been on the show before, but you know, it's like spotting a 4-leaf clover or Bigfoot. Like,
you are so extra.
Just because it's like we never see you. So anyway, there goes Mimi Shells, man. Say what's up to the people. Go ahead.
What's up, people? Well, you never see me. It's because of CJ. That's why y'all never see me. Oh no!
I don't know
Way
this
to
one.
throw me under the bus that early. Wow.
And debuting on Big Slam Nation, CEO Haize, CJ, man. Say what's up to the people, brother.
What's going on, everybody? And regardless of what Mimi Shell says, I have not held her back from anything. If anything, I put her in a position to win. I put you in a position to win.
How come I believe? How come I believe? I believe CJ. How come I believe him? How come I believe him? I don't know him, and I believe him, Mimi. What's going on here?
Mimi wouldn't lie to the public. I believe Mimi.
I will say, I have been having Mimi work every Monday when she decides to show up, which I don't know how I have her to work. Because she pieced out on me for a month straight, but now I'm keeping her from
CJ,
working.
Man.
But that's fine.
All right, right there, I believe CJ right there.
CJ, do me a favor, man. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what you do. Go ahead, let them know.
I am Haize from St. Louis. I am the CEO of the Wrestling World Podcast Network. My humble beginnings, I started a podcast network. We've grown so much since then. Mimi's come on to help us. I have several hosts that we cover literally everything in wrestling. If you think about it, we have a show specifically to cover it. I've been a wrestling fan since I was 6.
Sorry to hear that.
My very first wrestling memory is actually meeting Bret Hart here in St. Louis he did not a contract signing,
Autograph.
a poster signing for us here in St. Louis. But other than that, I mean, that's it. Me in a nutshell. I'm just a huge wrestling fan.
That's very, very cool. So you're on the right show because it's the huge wrestling fan show right here on One Wrestling. Bill Apter's OneWrestling.com, Big Slam Nation. So let's get right into it, right? It's Royal Rumble season. It is my favorite season of wrestling. Anything wrestling related, this is my favorite time. I love the Royal Rumble. And this Royal Rumble...
Why are you lying? Why are you lying, Billy Ray?
All right,
Your
tell me how
favorite
I'm lying.
part of the season. Your favorite part of the season is Wrestle Kingdom.
Is actually if we're gonna take it to New Japan, it's Best of the Super Juniors. That's my number 2. I get very excited. You're not telling the truth because that's number 2. Number 1 has always been the Royal Rumble. So wrong again, as usual. You know the years change, but Quintana is still wrong every single year. I don't know how he manages to do this. So listen. the Royal Rumble is my favorite time. I love it, right? But lately it's been, I was talking to Mimi off air, and we would talk because Mimi went on a Royal Rumble binge and started watching every single Royal Rumble since 91, I think, all the way through. And you know, she said that, you know, there was kind of a dip. There was a fall off. And there was, I agree. But this Royal Rumble looks like it's going to be together because there's so many different options. There's so many different big names in this Rumble that can possibly win it. You know, we got Randy Orton in it. We got what's this cat's name?
Miz.
Dean Ambrose. The Miz ain't winning it. Come on. I mean, I love the Miz, but he's not winning the Royal Rumble. You know,
Are you ready to eat that? Are you ready to eat that snowball if he does?
we got Brock Lesnar. We got Goldberg, Bill Goldberg in the Royal Rumble. The Undertaker. You know, Roman Reigns, Mimi's favorite. Mimi, let me get to you real quick. Then we're gonna go to CJ. Then we're gonna go to the Professor. Give me your thoughts on this Royal Rumble. Who are you most excited to see? And give me a prediction, okay? And keep in mind that this prediction is going to carry over to WrestleMania, okay? So, Mimi, tell me what you're thinking.
This is what I want to see.
All right. Roman Reigns in a Speedo? No, we don't want to know about that. And I don't want to see that either, just for the record.
Roman takes the title from KO.
And Cash Zono?
Wrong KO.
Oh, okay.
Goldberg wins the Rumble. And it's Roman and Goldberg at WrestleMania.
And who wins that?
Roman. Where Goldberg going?
She said, and it's Roman and Goldberg at WrestleMania.
There we go. There we go.
She's blushing with that prediction right there. I see the blushing eyes.
Yep.
All right, okay. Those are legit, right? Those are legit choices. CJ, man, CEO Haize, tell me what you're thinking all the way from St. Louis. How's St. Louis feeling about this Royal Rumble, man?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not feeling too good about who I think is going to win.
Okay.
Overall, I think I'm excited for the Rumble only because it's probably the first time in like 3 to 4 years you have so many legit options of who can win the Royal Rumble. But I think only because of how Vince does and how he gets caught in himself and his own thoughts, I think this is going to be the year Braun Strowman's going to win the Royal Rumble. Now, what I want to say there is I love Braun Strowman. I absolutely want to see him have a world title at some point, but I don't want to see it too soon. I don't want them to pull the trigger on him too soon. But I think if I know Vince, he's probably going to do it. Braun Strowman's going to win the Royal Rumble. Hopefully he doesn't win the title. But Roman, come on, Mimi. The man has had, 3 or 4 title reigns and has only held it for like a total of 90 days. Right. No more Roman title reigns right now. Come on.
He's getting it back. It's only a matter of time. So Braun Strowman, that's a legit pick. It's a legit pick. The Professor Anthony Quintana actually called that about 2 weeks ago. On the PW Hustle. Big shout outs to A-Track Brown. Professor, give me your thoughts. Have they changed? And they're still subject to change. There's still time for the storylines to take shape and take form, and our opinions might change on this. So anyway, Professor, go ahead.
No, very, very true, Billy Ray. But you know what? I go with CJ. I am still believing in Braun Strowman. I like Braun Strowman to win this. But CJ is also right. There's many options. There's many winners you could pick. I mean, Vince McMahon can change it up and put Lesnar to win it, Goldberg to win it. Hey, you might be laughing, Billy Ray, but Miz could win it. And a lot of people might want to see the Miz win it because he's been saying that 2017 would be the year of the Miz. So I would not be even shocked that the Miz would win the Royal Rumble. But I'm still going with my gut feeling for Braun Strowman. And Mimi, I'm going to disagree with you on one thing. Roman will win the title, but he's not going to main event WrestleMania. And that's the beauty of this because you got 2 heavyweight titles. The Universal title will open WrestleMania, and it will be Braun Strowman against Roman Reigns to open WrestleMania because AJ will still have the title, and he will be main eventing WrestleMania. I just don't know who. They probably will have a SmackDown Rumble to do that.
So, all right. So Braun Strowman, and you took Goldberg. All right. Okay. So I'm taking this. All right. Initially, I said that the Undertaker was going to win the Royal Rumble, right? And
wait, can we do? I didn't mean to interrupt you. Can we do it like a quick thing? Come here, James. So my son's friend James is a big WWE fan.
Yeah.
And him and I were talking about the Royal Rumble.
All right.
And James, why don't you tell us who you pick. Come, tell us who you want to see win.
What's up, James? What's going on, brother? Welcome to Big Slam Nation. Who do you think? Who do you think is gonna win the Royal Rumble?
Goldberg.
Oh gosh, kid.
And he's out.
Well, anyway, that was quick to the point. He wasn't playing around. He's like Goldberg.
Right.
Plain and simple, Goldberg.
So I thought, right, that the Undertaker was gonna win, right, and set up Undertaker versus John Cena at WrestleMania. Apparently, Vince McMahon. It's all good. Let that daycare you got going on back there. That's all right. You got to make your money on the side. I get it. Listen. I thought for sure that Undertaker was gonna win, setting up Cena versus Taker at WrestleMania. Vince McMahon has since come out and said that he was scrapping that idea and not gonna do that because he's looking towards the future and not towards the present. Right. I was talking about this with Quintana. I still can't understand why the Undertaker is in the Rumble if he's not winning it. I think the Undertaker has to win this Royal Rumble. Therefore,
there's an answer for that.
Therefore, I will continue to stick with my prediction and say that it's going to be the Undertaker. Only thing is, Undertaker will face Roman Reigns. He will either face Roman Reigns for the Universal title, or he will face Braun Strowman. So if Braun Strowman eliminates the Undertaker, Braun Strowman is winning. No, that doesn't make sense. Braun Strowman would also need to get eliminated. Braun Strowman would also need to get eliminated for this scenario to take place. I think Undertaker will either face Braun Strowman or Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So
Undertaker?
At this point, I just don't understand why they would put the Undertaker in the Royal Rumble if he's not winning it. I can't get it through my head. Then again, I couldn't figure out how AJ Styles would be the WWE champion last year, and he was. So my mind needs to adjust to this new way of thinking because it's years and years of WWE Vince McMahon programming that makes me think this way. So I just don't know why the Undertaker's in this thing if he's not winning.
Let's go back to
all right.
Why did you think AJ? Why can't you wrap your head around how AJ became world champion?
Well, I mean, I would never, and I don't think anybody would have ever thought this. Anybody who's followed wrestling, CJ, you're new to this, so I would like to get your thoughts. I don't think anybody new to Big Slam Nation. I mean, not new to wrestling. I don't think anybody who was watching AJ Styles' career, WWE passed on him on several occasions. He went over to New Japan
3-4 times.
Yeah, he went over to New Japan to become the IWGP champion. I thought he was coming over to the WWE to be enhancement talent. I never, ever saw him being the WWE champion. Maybe the Universal champion when that happened, right? You were like, okay, maybe they'll give him that, the secondary title. But the WWE title is well protected 9 times out of 10. He doesn't hand that to just anybody. Not to mention AJ Styles, who they thought was a little man. He couldn't cut it. He wouldn't get over with the people, all this other stuff. They gave Daniel Bryan all the resistance in the world. You want to talk about a botched Royal Rumble when Daniel Bryan was supposed to be in it, but he wasn't, and they booed Batista out of the building. It's the same mentality. They put up so many roadblocks for Daniel Bryan. How would AJ Styles become the WWE champion? Yet he is. I just couldn't get that. Like, once it happened, once it was starting to form, I was like, okay, there's a shot here. But it took me a while to get to that point. And it's the same thing here, like with The Undertaker. Did you think that AJ Styles was going to be the WWE champion, CJ?
No, and here's why. I am probably the biggest AJ Styles fan in my podcast network. They call me AJ Mark all the time because literally I've watched the guy since I was 15 years old. But knowing how Vince looks at people who became stars outside of WWE, there was no reason to believe that he would have gotten higher than the mid-card. I think that feud he had with Roman Reigns and the fact that he made Vince's guy look like $1 million in that feud. No offense, Mimi, because Roman did his work there too. But AJ Styles showed his butt off in that feud, those 3 matches that they had. I think he became a little more trusted there. And I think that's when Vince realized, hey, we have something here in him. And you saw he won the world title, I think a month or maybe 2 months after that. So, leading up when he first signed to WWE, I thought the mid-card was the most we were going to get from him. Like you said, maybe a secondary world title if they made it. But he worked his way, just like he's done in every promotion he's ever stepped foot in. He's worked his way to getting and to be seen as that main event talent.
But if Vince has seen that he's worked his way, I don't understand why you guys wouldn't think if he's worked his way in other promotions, don't you think that Vince would have seen that he's worked his way in other promotions?
And
brought him in.
Just saying,
not because of his size. If he was 6 foot, then yes.
Not even just that. No problem, brother. Not even just because of his size. You know, I mean, even though that's a huge factor, but track record for Vince McMahon. Let's look at even going back. Like
that's just the philosophy, Mimi. Yeah. Vince McMahon does not push people that he never created. No, that's the problem.
Rarely ever. Like Vader came over from WCW in New Japan, and he was the man, like the biggest beast in wrestling, and he came over and got jobbed out in the WWE. We go to Junkyard Dog, never quite made the same level he was anywhere else. Only person I really seen that he handed the baton to like that was Ric Flair. Other than that, you really can't make an argument for anybody else, especially a TNA champion. Not happening. Look at Christian. Christian left the WWE, went to TNA to become a world champion. He came back with all this hype that we're going to feud him with Edge, and he was supposed to be the WWE champion. That never happened. They gave him the ECW title, and they gave him the world title for one day. It was almost a mockery of it. The only reason they gave him the title was because Edge had to retire. That's the only reason they did it. And then they put it on Randy Orton. Like, he's not trying to mess with anybody. So I don't get that mentality. I mean, I haven't been able to break out of that Vince McMahon mentality yet. And he's still running the company, so that leads me to believe that Undertaker, right? If not Braun Strowman, it has to be the Undertaker. Braun Strowman, I won't be surprised if he wins. Let me say that now. But why is the Undertaker in this Rumble if not for winning it, Quintana?
Did you see the poster, Billy Ray?
Tell me. Yes, I did. I saw AJ Styles all the way in the back.
Okay,
of the Rumble poster.
that answers your question.
No, I don't think that Vince McMahon had any say in that.
Oh yeah, I'm positive he did. He was like, okay, this AJ Styles guy, put him all the way in the back, all the way.
Right. I think that was just.
Let me wait a minute, Mimi. Let me just say this quickly. Let me give it the WWE PR spin.
All right.
That a lot of IWC, YWC just cannot fathom here. You have the 4 legendary icons front and center. You have Undertaker, Goldberg, Lesnar, and Cena. You have to put your icons. You have to put your legends. They're the reason that 60,000 people hopefully will pay them hard-earned money to sell out the Alamodome. Then conveniently you have in the middle Vince's future, Roman Reigns, whether you like it or not. That's your future in the front and center. Now, funny enough, what did Billy Ray say? AJ is like that little kid in the back trying to.
You gotta try hard. You gotta try hard. It's like
I think that was an accident.
It's like Where's Waldo, man? You gotta look, like you gotta dig. They sent me the poster and they were like, yo, look at AJ Styles, find him. I'm like, where is he? Like literally,
I sincerely think that was an accident. I think that was a botch. I think that was a botch. It was lack of attention to detail because that should not have happened. But I don't believe that they did that on purpose. I sincerely do not believe that they did that on purpose.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not going to say they did it on purpose, but I think you should have put your Universal Champion maybe right to the right and to the left. The Roman should have been the Universal Champion and the WWE Champion.
Yeah.
And so they could be like, your
even
figurehead.
Equal footing. Yeah,
equal
footing.
Equal footing right there.
That's surprised.
The mistake. I would say that.
I'm surprised that Kevin Owens made it that far up and he wasn't further back, to be honest with you. What's up, CJ?
Wait, so I'm looking at this poster, and this is why I don't think this is an accident. So AJ Styles
you're absolutely right. This is not an accident. Anyway,
AJ Styles is next to Rich Swann, Sasha Banks, who we know Vince has an issue with. Dolph Ziggler is next to that, who we all can talk about all day. How Dolph has just been booked his whole career. And so, like, it's like the collection of the people Vince wishes he can forget. Like, that's just what that is right there. I don't know. I don't think it was an accident at all. Like, you just look at that grouping. Everyone is kind of grouped according to how you can think Vince views them, just looking at this poster. And I think it's enough to say that AJ Styles is next to Sasha Banks and Rich Swann and Dolph Ziggler, and that says enough for me.
And you want to hear a rant about this, man? Check out the PW Hustle channel tomorrow. We're going to have, of course, it's going to be me, Quintana, and A-Track Brown as usual. But we're going to have Ben Hameen and Big Ray on with us, the Impact Rebellion. And I'm sure A-Track Brown will lose his mind over this poster because he already has on text, and all you got to do is give him an avenue so he can just explode, and that's probably going to happen. Hey, Professor, man, tell me why The Undertaker is in this Royal Rumble if he's not going to win it.
This poster was ill put together altogether. Like, it was just...
Professor, can you hear me?
Oh, my God. Did we lose him?
I don't know. I asked him a question and he no-sold me. Hold on. Can you hear me? He's gone. Hey, like I'm talking to him like he's gonna hear me.
Can you hear me?
There you go. I can hear you. Can you hear us?
No, I had a bad connection. I think because it's snowing in Bombay, New Jersey right now. So what was the question?
Oh well, whatever. Mimi was saying something. Then we'll go back to the question. Go ahead, Mimi. I'm sorry.
This poster was just put together, just like slap-shottedly. Like, this is horrible. It's horrible. Like, I'm looking at it now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I saw it on my phone, but I'm looking at it now. I didn't even know Kalisto was back there. I didn't know.
He's right. He's right next to AJ.
It's not a slap shot. It's not no slap in the face, Mimi. They planned this. You can't plan a poster like this. It's months in advance. So this was done, and AJ was held in the back, and and Sasha's in the back, and Dolph's in the back. It's made to sell the legendary icons front and center. That's what it is, and that's what a lot of people have got to realize, that you have the biggest names in wrestling in front in the fore. Whether if you're a hardcore wrestling fan like CJ is, a AJ fan since he was 15 years old, I'm sorry, when you put AJ to Goldberg and Lesnar and Cena and Undertaker, AJ can't hold a candle to that legendary icon stuff. So that's why he's not front and center. That's the thing. And a lot of people don't want to.
No, he is legendary. He is an icon. Who? And I don't even. And I'm just.
He's an icon to hardcore fans, but
yeah,
the four people in the front are larger than life. Maybe you got to understand.
Right. So let me explain it like this.
I'm not saying that he needed to be in the front. I understand the four people in the front. What I'm saying is, Roman, he should have been where Roman is, okay?
That's the future.
Dean Ambrose should have been where Kofi is. Roman should have probably been where Big E is. And Jericho should have been where Orton is. Because they're champions. Like, they should be up.
Well, I would say this was in alphabetical order, but that doesn't help either.
No, you can barely see Dean.
Well, you know what, like, it's all about who's crossed over into the mainstream, right? So if you talk about which wrestlers are more notable, more legendary, right? You got John Cena, you got The Undertaker, you got Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. That's what's going to sell. That's what's going to sell the pay-per-view, right? You got these icons from the Attitude Era, and you got John Cena, who is the face of now, right? And you got Roman Reigns conveniently in the middle, like looking over the shoulder, like, hey, that's my spot, and then everybody else is in the back. and AJ Styles is way back there. But listen, answer me this. Why is The Undertaker? That's what I want to know. Why is The Undertaker in the Royal Rumble if he's not going to win it, Quintana? You said you had an answer for it. That's why I keep coming back to you about it. Go ahead.
Because he's from Texas. And Texas is, and the Royal Rumble's in the Alamodome, and you got your Texas boy in there who's going to be 25 and up. That's his number. And then, and here's the funny scenario. Here's the funny way. No.
Why do you have to put him in a Rumble match? You could have just brought him in and had him squash somebody.
Right.
Why do you have to put him in the Royal Rumble match?
Business-wise, you got to sell tickets, and Undertaker still sells tickets. And like I said, you put him 25 and up. He does a little damage. He takes out one person. And you know what? Here's the scenario that a lot of people might not really agree with, but this is just my own a selfish booking. I just love selfish booking here. You have somebody, a demon, recovering from a shoulder injury. And you have two people that the demon has been associated with in Japan that hasn't had quite the career that they needed to have in Gallows and Anderson. So what better way to get three people over than with Gallows and Anderson taking out The Undertaker for some strange reason at the behest of the demon.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And then you set up something for WrestleMania with the demon and Taker.
I'll buy that if that happens.
Go
ahead.
No, I'm just saying I'm sold on that idea. That was a wonderful idea. I had not even fathomed that at all. That was
I don't know.
Idea.
I don't know if Finn is ready, but
but here's the problem with that. I mean, there's like little things with like kids loving to dress up as the demon. So when you have such a potential marketing genius, your hero, they always say the heroes draw more money than the heels when it comes to kids and marketing and all that stuff. So would you, risk turning Finn Balor into a heel? That's the thing.
Finn Balor would, I guess, right? He would be a heel, but bottom line is this. Vince McMahon said he was looking towards the future. We can all agree that whether you like it or not, Mimi loves it. The future is Roman Reigns. He is the future. I think Undertaker wins the Royal Rumble. I think Roman Reigns becomes the Universal Champion, and that's your match. I think that's your WrestleMania match. And Roman Reigns, believe it or not, beats The Undertaker. It's either him or Strowman. There is nothing else at this point. That's it. Either Strowman gets over or Roman Reigns is going to get over on Undertaker. That is it.
I don't think so, though.
But again, guys, you have to remember you got 2 heavyweight titles. So even if Roman has the title, he does not have to close the show. So that Universal title can open the show. So it's not like a big negative for Roman to go into WrestleMania.
They're not going to put Roman Reigns in the opening match of WrestleMania. That's not happening, brother.
Why not?
Happening. Because
one year Sheamus and Daniel Bryan opened WrestleMania.
He hated Daniel Bryan. You can't compare Daniel Bryan to Roman Reigns in Vince McMahon's eyes.
I'm just saying that when you had 2 championships, you had 2 splits of heavyweight champions. You can have the heavyweight championship opening the show, and I'm not surprised that if the Universal Championship could be opening WrestleMania.
If Kevin Owens is the Universal Champion, that's a possibility. If Roman Reigns is the Universal Champion, he is not opening WrestleMania. Not happening.
Talk about the most hated wrestler of 2016, according to PWI.
He is the most hated. Hated. They hate him. All right. Any closing thoughts on this, man? Does anybody change their mind? Does anybody have something to say, CJ?
All I can say is my just ballpark out of the bells of my head is watch out for Baron Corbin and Undertaker. That's my pick there.
You're right.
Just watch out for it. Just watch out for it. Not saying I want it, but it's a chance.
That's a possibility too. He says he's looking towards the future, and for some reason he likes Baron Corbin. Mimi, tell me something.
I hate Baron Corbin.
Me too. I'm with you. Go
ahead.
He
has a personality. He's just like a deer in headlights, and I guess maybe that's how Roman was in the beginning, and he'll probably grow on me, but he's bad.
Maybe that's the way he is currently right now. Okay, listen. So
let's. You didn't ask me. You didn't ask me what I wanted.
Yeah, I would just went to you. Nobody
wants.
No, I want to put out a different. I want to put out another what CJ having with Corbin that could happen. You have to think of another great scenario that fans would want to see, and I want to know when Kenny Omega's contract is going to be up, because if his contract is up before Royal Rumble, you have a surprise entry.
Well, thank you for giving me a segue there, because I was going to get into Wrestle Kingdom real quick, and you just provided that. I appreciate it. Kenny Omega's not coming to the WWE. He's definitely not showing up at the Royal Rumble. You can X that out.
You ready to eat that snowball?
You seem to have a lot of these things, and they're going to be collecting space in your refrigerator, because I'm barely ever wrong here. Just to let you know,
snowballs are melting.
I am
that right there. I have a strange feeling.
I am the After Cup champion of last year. You guys want to see what I won for getting the After Cup? You want me to show it to you, because I have it right here next to me. Let me show you guys. I'm always right. Not always, but 9 times out of 10. Look at this thing. Look at this beautiful thing. Look at this thing.
Oh my God.
Oh, that is a beautiful. I love that title. That is one of my favorite titles right now. That is beautiful.
Big Ray handed this to me for winning the After Cup. I was supposed to get a trophy, but I got this instead, and I gotta tell you, I like it a lot better. So here you go, and you guys can't have it.
I was about to say, are you ready to hand that over?
No.
Kenny Omega
over my dead body is not happening. So,
well, I have some news on that. Kenny Omega's contract expires January 31st, so technically, there's no way he's going to be able to appear in the Royal Rumble.
They can break a contract. I get you, and I'm with you, by the way. But those contracts mean nothing. They'll just break it. Look at Alberto Del Rio. He did it to AAA a couple of times. He was like, screw you guys. Left with the title, went to WWE. But like, all right, so Wrestle Kingdom happened, right? And talking about Kenny Omega versus Okada, the greatest match in the history of professional wrestling, according to Dave Meltzer. 6 stars out of a possible 5. So that means there was one extra there. Listen, I've given my thoughts on this over at PW Hustle, but I know the audience doesn't exactly cross over. So I want to tell you, you can definitely make an argument for that being one of the greatest matches of all time. Is it the greatest match of all time? I don't know, man. That's up for you to choose. It's not my favorite match of all time, but I loved the match. I loved it, and I thought it was phenomenal. And it's, you know what, for all you, I mean, CJ might have something to say about this, but there's so many AJ Styles fans, diehard AJ Styles fans in the IWC, YWC, right? I get it. I love AJ. But those of you who are not willing to admit that Kenny Omega is just as good as AJ Styles in the ring, you guys got another thing coming. The guy is just as good. You can make an argument that the guy might be better. You can make an argument that AJ Styles is better too. But to say that he is not better, I don't know if you can make that argument convincingly and win. Kenny Omega's on another level, and he proved it. He went to work against Okada. I mean, he was all offense. He was the selling. I mean, Okada played his part too, because Okada is one of the best in the world. But Kenny Omega just took that match to another level. He was like, this is my coming out party. And it was phenomenal. Professor, give me your thoughts.
Well, number one, I'm in production of creating a shirt called Okada Reigns. So it's going to be available on the pwhustleshop.com.
Explain that to me, man. I'm sure she'll be happy to know what that means.
Okada Reigns,
yeah.
You know.
Your mic sucks, bro. What did you do? What did you do? Oh, he's frozen. It's not even his mic.
Oh my God.
So anyway, he thinks Okada is as bad as Roman Reigns. So he's hating on Roman Reigns and hating on Okada at the same time. What do you
Wait a minute. When did Professor's perspective change on Roman?
Oh man, he says that Okada is a corporate creation just like Roman Reigns. He says that Roman Reigns has been force-fed down to people, and Okada has been force-fed down the throats of people. So he draws a lot of parallels between the both of them. We lost them completely. I'm going to try to get him back. But go ahead. Give me your thoughts on that, Mimi.
Of course, this was my first. CJ has been, chasing me for me to go and watch something other than WWE. So I finally did it. Watched the whole 6 hours. To comment on that particular match, I do not think that it was the best match of all time. I wanted it to end because it was like going on forever, and I was just like, but there was, I was sitting on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh my god, did he die? It was a lot, and that style of wrestling is too strong for me.
It's called strong style, so that makes sense.
Yeah, like it is. Ooh, geez. Like, Okada even said that, there was one point in the match where he felt like he was dying, and I believe him.
I believe it.
Because I thought somebody's getting hurt, somebody's getting carried out the stretcher. But Omega said he is the best wrestler in the whole wide world, and nobody can come close to him. The only person that can come close to him is AJ Styles, and he can't even really touch him. And I completely disagree. I did not know who AJ Styles was in the beginning of 2016, and I am a believer of AJ Styles. And in my opinion, I love Roman Reigns, but AJ Styles is truly, truly an amazing wrestler.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell he talking about.
Well, Kenny Omega is amazing. He's just amazing. He's amazing, just like him. And I must.
That's the match I saw.
I must interject this, okay? Let's not forget when we talk about the best wrestlers in the world. Let's not forget about Kota Ibushi, because the guy is on.
I was gonna say that.
Well, you can go ahead and take it from me, CJ.
Man,
everybody knows my allegiance to Kota Ibushi, so you can go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
Kota Ibushi is the best wrestler in the world to me, and this is coming from someone who's labeled as an AJ Styles super fan.
Yeah.
Kota Ibushi, and I was also going to say the Wrestle Kingdom match between Okada and Omega. It was a great match. It's probably one of those generational matches that you're going to look at and say, "Hey, this is something that really did it for New Japan and got a lot of new fans aboard. But for my money, Kota Ibushi, Shinsuke Nakamura, Wrestle Kingdom 9 was a better match.
I agree, man. Yeah.
So that's kind of the bee's knees, as to say, as far as me and Wrestle Kingdom matches. But Kenny Omega, as far as in the ring, I don't think he's better than AJ Styles. But when you look at what a total package of a wrestler is, and that's including promo, charisma, everything, including stuff outside of the ring, Kenny Omega may be better as a total package than AJ Styles, because you can trust Kenny Omega to go out there and cut a promo and it be a great promo every single time, whereas AJ really is just starting now to become into his own on the mic.
Yeah, AJ really stepped it up in WWE, man. He really stepped it up. It's those snowballs you was throwing at me earlier. Yeah, so he really stepped it up in the WWE. He didn't have that. He was not a good promo. He just was not.
No, not at all.
And he came into WWE and took it to a totally different level, which I was not expecting either. I was like, whoa, this guy can talk after all these years. Imagine that. But I get you, and we're there with Kota Ibushi, because Kota Ibushi is just phenomenal. I just haven't seen anybody better than that dude. And I doubt I ever will. He's just on another level of good. Professor Anthony Quintana, you're back. It appears that you're not on your computer. You're on your phone. I don't know what.
Damn the technology here.
I don't know what we were talking to you about prior to this, but anyway, give me your thoughts. Omega, is he better than Styles? Is Kota Ibushi the man? I don't know. Tell me something. Go ahead.
I guess for Dave Meltzer to give it a 6 stars out of 5. You know, wrestling's subjective to everybody. So, you know, I judge every match. For me, the Professor, I judge everything with like Steamboat Savage WrestleMania 3 or Steamboat Flair trilogy matches in '89. So that's my favorites of all time. So on that level, it was a great match. But, you know, there was a lot of holes in that Wrestle Kingdom match, in my opinion. It was a little bit slow, and I thought Tanahashi and Naito was actually a better match than Omega.
You're out of your mind.
And Okada.
You're like
That's being very
100% completely insane. 100% super insane. Like finding holes in that match.
Yeah, like I said, it's subjective. It's very subjective. My subjective eye, my fair and balanced eye, Naito and Tanahashi was way better.
There's subjectiveness and there's wrong and right, and you are wrong in this case, completely and totally. But whatever, it's cool. That's 2 in 2017 you're wrong about. All in one episode already. Listen, I thought it was amazing. All right? And Wrestle Kingdom as a whole was very good. It's probably going to be pay-per-view of the year. I really don't see anything beating this. I mean, WrestleMania looks like a stacked card. But and let's talk about this real quick. Vince McMahon says he wants to put together a match that will rival Kenny Omega and Okada. I don't think he has, short of bringing Nakamura up to the main roster and having him wrestle AJ Styles at WrestleMania, I don't think he has the wrestlers to pull this off. Or maybe letting Seth Rollins go off against the AJ Styles. Maybe that match would happen if they let them do whatever they want. But personally, I don't think they got wrestlers on the roster to pull this off. Did you hear about the CJ that Vince McMahon wants to get this done?
Yeah, I did read that. I think that they could have the talent to do it, but like you said, they'd have to take the leashes off. Vince would have to give up how he wants to handcuff wrestlers into doing the WWE style. He would have to just walk away, not look, let the guys put on the show, and then come back and watch and just hear how amazing we all thought it was. Because as long as Vince has control over it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Mimi, you got anything to say about that before we move on?
I think I agree with you, unless they bring Nakamura up and let him rock out with AJ.
That'd be classic. They could open up it'd be a real big mistake, Vince McMahon, to open up WrestleMania with that match, because ain't nothing topping it if it happens. So if you're gonna put it on the card, move it up, okay? Move it up and put Roman Reigns before it, because it's just not gonna work if you put him after. All right, so you all watched the British tournament. I have not watched it, okay? So I'm gonna hand it over to you, CJ. You lead this. What happened here? Tell me what happened, and get their comments. Tell me what's up.
I mean, overall, what happened is that these people went out and they put on the show. They knew that they had to do something for an audience that isn't very familiar with them. What I will say, the first thing that I want to bring up and ask everyone about is Jordan Devlin versus Danny Burch. Professor, I'm going to come first to you here. This match to me, I think I came away from this feeling like Devlin, they actually have plans for, because they let him show a lot of character. He's had the most development probably of anyone character wise in this tournament. Everyone else has just been matches. So it makes me, and he's also been trained by Finn, so it makes me think they have plans for him. What did you feel from that?
I agree with you. I looked at Jordan Devlin, and knowing the backstory that he was trained by Finn Balor is a perfect storyline segue into this tournament. So for him to even make it into the semifinals and have a chip on his shoulder, I mean, people might think that he's a heel going into this tournament, but I think he has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to get out of the shadows of Finn Balor, and what's the best way to get out of the shadows of Finn Balor and all that history that he has with him? Win the United Kingdom tournament, and by any means necessary, just do it. If he has to cheat to win, then go ahead for Jordan Devlin. And, that match against Danny Burch was very physical and controversial, to say the least. I don't want to spoil it, but, I think it was planned. I think the way that even ended, it was very well planned, in my opinion. People might have said that looked like a botched spot, but I think it was a very well planned spot to me. That was just my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah, and if you look closely at that ending, and I kept rewinding it, he put his hand up behind his head right before he got kicked and started bleeding, and that cut was a perfect cut. I think that was a blade job. I may be wrong, but Mimi, how'd you feel about it?
I only saw the last two matches of the tournament. I didn't watch them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw highlights, and I was just like, oh, damn. Okay.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Is it worth watching? Should I go back and watch this, being that I already know who's going to win? Should I watch this?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You should watch it, Billy Ray. I think a lot of people should watch this because you see a great atmosphere in that ballroom. Yeah. I don't think it was like, because you see the British fans, you see the energy that they bring into it. And you know what? I said this on my Twitter while I was watching this. I said American fans could take a lesson from British fans. There's a difference between American fans trying to hijack a show, like on Raw, when you chant CM Punk for no reason, and British fans, they could be singing or clapping or doing whatever, but they're actually doing it for the fans. They're showing respect to the wrestlers.
Yeah.
And what people might think is hijacking the show, the British fans don't hijack a show. They actually enhance the show. They respect the wrestlers that are going into that. And I think American fans should take lessons from these British fans as very charismatic and the energy that they bring to a wrestling match.
You are so full of crap.
Oh, so is that the third thing I'm wrong?
So full of crap.
The third thing I'm wrong?
Man, we sat here. I think it was on Big Slam Nation. If not, it was on PW Hustle. We sat here right after the Shinsuke Nakamura debut, and when everybody was humming along to Shinsuke's song, you were like, that's so disrespectful. They trying to put themselves over. What the hell are they doing? Why can't they just watch the match?
The British fans do what they do over there. No, I can't say anything about that.
But it's cool if the British fans do it.
That's the example of American fans trying to hijack the show. That's what they're doing. They're copying off of the British fans off that right there. So you're trying to implement that stuff. Do I like Nakamura being hummed to it? You know what? To each his own. Whatever. But the British fans do that. I can't disrespect what British fans do over there. That's what they do over there.
How do we tell the difference between paying allegiance and hijacking then? Can you enlighten me? Because I don't get it. It seems the same to me, but you tell me.
No, it's copying. There's a difference. They're copying right there. And I didn't like it with Nakamura, but you know what? It grew on me. Whatever is whatever. But at least British fans, that's what they've been doing. That's what they do in Progress. That's what they do in ICW. So how can I say that they hijack a show? And watching the tournaments that they were doing, what was the CJ? You got to help me. What was the dude's name that was like Jesus? There was something like Jesus.
That guy won.
We got a Jesus sucks chant in this tournament, and it was just like I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, what are they really saying? Jesus sucks? Yeah. For a good 2.5 minutes, man, Jesus sucks.
We're gonna talk about that.
And there's a guy that a lot of people on Twitter had a lot of praise for, and he kind of looks like a clone of Zach Gallagher. He's like 19 years old.
I saw him. Yes,
with a mustache. I think his name is Taylor Bates or something. Tyler Bates.
Yeah.
And he looks like a Zach Gallagher clone, and a lot of people on Twitter love this guy. He was very charismatic.
Like, 2 times as big. The dude was huge.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the
Yeah.
the Illuminati ties and the programming of the Jesus sucks chant tomorrow on the PW Hustle. That was deliberate. They did that on purpose. They're trying to program you, and we will talk about it along with Ben Hameen. All right. So we did that. I got one more topic that I want to get to before we wrap. We're gonna talk about and CJ, thank you very much for that, brother. We're gonna head over to TNA. Let's talk a little bit of TNA, right? So we got Aaron Rex, right? The most glorified mid-carder in the history of professional wrestling, right? So for all you fans out there, right? I'm gonna play the professor role real quick. All you fans out there, this is normally the professor would do it, but I'm gonna take it this time. All you fans out there that was like, oh my God, this guy should be a world champion. Oh my God, why did the WWE let him go? He should be main eventing. Oh my God, he's gonna go over to TNA and light the world on fire. He's already being rehabbed already because his first character flopped so badly, right? And now from what I hear and from the pictures I'm getting, the dude has been turned into Liberace or something like that. He has his own butler. He's walking down to the ring in a fur coat, and he's very, very, questionable, if you get what I mean. Hey, CJ, tell me something about this, man. What did you think about it? All right, and what do you think about Aaron Rex? Because a lot of people back in the day, we're talking about this guy like he was the next coming of or the best thing since sliced bread. Not to make a lot of Jesus reference, so I'm going to use the best thing since sliced bread. That's what they thought that this guy was. Everybody was losing their mind about it. Why did the WWE capitalize and make him a world champion? Tell me something about Aaron Rex, brother.
This is why, since he's been in TNA, you see why the WWE couldn't get him past where they got him from. He's been exposed. They used him. TNA has used him. They've tried to put him on. They made him the Impact Grand Champion, and he's just been so-so his whole entire TNA run. What this new character, I will say, though, I found it entertaining just because I find stuff differently. But then I hear that this is something he pitched to WWE even before the Mizdow character, and it's like, okay, so you're rehabbing something that from an idea you had 5 years ago. It's entertaining to me. The only thing that I don't like about it is in the day and age we live in, when you have someone draw heat solely off possibly being homosexual, I think there's a problem there.
Okay.
So have him do something more than just be the possible homosexual to draw heat. But the flesh-colored tights, the pink lipstick, the makeup, I found it. I was cracking up the whole time. Now I don't. Pink lipstick. So I don't know if I got the entertainment that they wanted me to get out of it, but I was entertained for that sense.
I'll tell you this. I'm watching Impact next week. I will tell you this. All right. And
That's what they wanted to do.
Another thing, man, like I don't know if you're familiar with ROH at all, but Dalton Castle is one of my favorite wrestlers in wrestling today, and he draws all his heat on being questionable. You don't know whether he's a homosexual or not. I mean, it's kind of. He has slaves that are boys, and he sits on them. Oh man, you got to watch Dalton Castle.
Dalton Castle's amazing.
He is classic. The guy is so good. But the whole gimmick is he's might be gay. Like that's the whole gimmick. Like
isn't that what
he's the party peacock.
Wasn't Goldust the same thing?
Yeah. But Goldust came down to the ring with a woman after a while, so you really didn't know. Like this guy comes down to the ring with dudes, that
Phantom. Yeah, they're half naked and they sit there and fan them, and will give them pep talks throughout the match. Dalton, he's on a whole nother level. Though.
He's really good too, man. He's really good. So if this is anything like that, it might work. Professor, tell me your thoughts, man.
I don't know if his lips were pink, but they were glossy. Number one, and I go with. Aaron Rex has been disappointing since jump. He looks out of shape. Dude's got a gut. Compared to his run with The Miz, he looked a little bit more in shape and everything. And I just don't see it. Whatever. If this is a character that he was, campaigning for, I'm glad that Vince McMahon put the kibosh on it because it really doesn't work for me. And then to top it all off, then you have the sidekick dude of Rockstar Spud who lost to a baby. Then lost to Hornswoggle. So
wait,
really,
he straight up has makeup on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does.
It's makeup.
Yeah. And like I said, you have Rockstar Spud with playing the butler role, and like I said, he already in 2017 he lost to King Maxwell, Baby Hardy, and Hornswoggle. So his career is almost over in TNA. So you got two characters I'm not invested in.
This could bring him back, potentially, right? This could bring him back to relevance, right? So we don't know yet. Yeah. So let's see where it goes. Hey, listen, I had a fun time today with all you guys, man. Big Slam Nation, OneWrestling.com. I'm not going to do a roll call like Big Ray does. I'm just going to say peace to Big Ray. Bill Schuyler, God bless you. We always got you in our thoughts. Fame Black, what's up, man? Okay, Fabe. The Professor Anthony Quintana, which we got with us here today. A-Track Brown. We got my boys over at the Sunday Segway. Kenny Killer, Tom Brady, Mimi Shells. What's up, Lisa? And our debutante, man. Hey, CJ, it was a pleasure having you here, brother. Say something.
Oh, it was a pleasure being here. Honestly, I love talking wrestling. I could talk wrestling all day, every day. Thanks for having me. That's all I can say. Thank you.
It was cool. We should do it again at some point if you're up for it. Listen, watch Big Slam. What's that, brother?
Have CJ have his roll call. Get your Twitter handle, CJ. Where can they find you? Put all that stuff out there. So the Slamites know.
Didn't he do this in the beginning of the podcast? I thought we tried to get that out the way in the beginning. We could book it.
You got to remind us, Slamites.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. People have short memories. We're living in this fluoride age. People don't have, people are drinking the fluoride. It's eating away at their brain cells. We got. I get you. It's true. It's just true. It's 100% true. The Nazis did it back in the day. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
You can follow me at CEO Haize. That's CEOHAIZE. You can check out my podcast, the Wrestling World Podcast Network, at thewwpn.com, where I host the Red Zone with the lovely Mimi Shells every Monday when she decides to show up. We have shows specifically covering Raw, SmackDown, TNA, NXT. We also do live shows after pay-per-views. That's where you can find me, thewwpn.com. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you know where you can find Billy Ray Valentine and the Professor Anthony Quintana over at the PW Hustle, where we talk a bunch of nonsense for about 45 minutes to an hour. I don't know how much wrestling talk you're going to get, but you'll get 45 minutes to an hour of complete nonsense, and that's what we aim for. So I hope that you're up for it. Listen, thanks for joining us right here on Big Slam Nation. Come back next week if you will, all right? And we'll give you Royal Rumble predictions next time we're on this thing. I know we kind of did that here, but we're going to do the whole card and updated, see if we still feel the way we feel after watching 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, and we'll make that prediction. All right, man? Thank you for joining us. Peace. Say goodbye to the people. Bye-bye, everybody. I'm still saying bye until I hit the off button.